Good evening and happy Sunday night as we are here in Minneapolis, Minnesota at the Target Iceplex here as the Minnesota Norse get ready to take on their America Division opponent, the Boston Yachts. So we are ready to go at center ice. It'll be Cody against Anderson, and Seraph and Cody will win it back, and Minnesota will come on the rush in the zone. They will be offsides there. So a quick stoppage right away to start this game here in Minnesota. Minnesota at the top right now. Actually, excuse me, they are second place, as they trail New York by just a single point. So as long as they are able to make it to overtime or get a regulation win tonight, they will find themselves either back in a tie for first or by themselves all alone in first place in the American Division. Shot now down low, goes wide. Cody behind the net, he's blown up by Braun. Jackson King for the Yachts comes away. Boston, on the other hand, tied with, just ahead of Chicago. 1 point ahead of Chicago for the bottom of the America Division. So Boston, although with a win, they get themselves right back into that America Division races. Things are very tightly compact early in this season. Minnesota looking to take a lead and get far out ahead. Now it's inside. Bure gets stopped by Abedisiani. Boston going to their backup, Ronnie Abedisiani. And it will be Eddie Salo in net for Minnesota at the other end. One back to Boston. And Tonison gets it up to Christensen. Christensen will then flip it down. First one on is Bjornsson. Bjornsson flips it out of the corner to Rain. Chris Rain up to Matty Albrechtsen. Milos Kovac tries to get in, loses the puck for a sec, back on his stick. Oh, and he can't get a shot away. Bediciani will keep play going. He'll get it up to Schvital. Christensen will turn. He'll get it to O'Shea. O'Shea banged there by Albrechtsen, and that's going to be a penalty. Matty Albrechtsen, they're going to call him for charging. Albrechtsen does not agree with the call, but will serve the 2 minutes either way. The hit there, not really. That looked pretty, as clean as a hockey hit can be, I would say. That was all right. So Boston will get the first power play of the game, just past 3 minutes gone here in the first period here in Minnesota. King steps in. His shot gets blocked away. It'll be Martin Sikora on it for Minnesota, and he will flip it out. Picked up behind the net by Joubert. Joubert up to Anderson. Off the boards. Anderson now cuts to the middle. Backhand stopped by Salo. And he will hold right there. Kovachenko against Schvital in the dot. Kovachenko wins it back to Dalton. He'll get it across to Sikora, and he will get it all the way down. Vinogradov, first one on it for Boston. He'll go off the boards. Up to Schvital. Schvital has room. Poked away there by Sikora. Good defensive play. O'Shea now into the slot. Shot! Stopped by Salo, and then another shot. Stopped again by Salo. Nick O'Shea with a good stop. Flips it all the way down. Vinogradov now on it. He'll flip it up to Schvital. Schvital to Cherry. Cherry gets it up to O'Shea. O'Shea in the corner. Tries to send it to Cherry, and it's picked off. Minnesota will get it all the way down. Approaching 30 seconds left here on the Boston power play early in this game. Still scoreless here in the first period. Vinogradov up to Christensen. To O'Shea. He'll cross the red line. Enter the zone now. 3-on-3. Gets it down to Schvital, and a glove stop by Salo. Good little put on the brakes by O'Shea, center. But they're unable to get it past the Finnish goaltender. Gavrachuk now against Anderson. Gavrachuk will win it back to Nikola. Nikola will turn in his own zone and backhand flip it out. That should do it for the power play here. Boston with a couple seconds and it is gone. So a big first period kill from the Norse here at home. Anderson now in. King off his stick goes behind the net. Anderson back up top. Christensen slap shot goes wide. Ends up behind the net. Bjornsson gets it up to Rain. Rain along the near boards. Rain coming in, gets bumped there by Vinogradov, and he will take the puck. Anderson now almost loses it to Kovac, but he gets it up. King obliterated by Nikola. Albrechtsen up to Rain. It's poked away. Christensen now with it. Christensen goes to the near boards to King. Stevens enters the zone, gets it down. Anderson's shot just wide. Oh, Anderson with a good opportunity there. Can't quite get it on net to beat Salo. Rain gets it cross ice to Bjornsson. Bjornsson gets it out of the zone, then we'll get it to Nikola. Rain, he will enter the zone to Albrechtsen. Albrechtsen turns, stops for a second, gets it back to Nikola. Nikola cross ice down to Bjornsson. Albrechtsen to Bjornsson. Slap shot just goes wide. Nikola tries to get it down low and can't. Albrechtsen loses it behind the net to Jordan. And Boston will get it out of their own zone to Cherry. Cherry enters the zone, 1-on-3. He'll lose it. Jordan now attacking for Boston. He's hit there by Nikola. Nikola stopped there along the boards. Comes free to Adolfsson, down to Jordan, and he can't get a shot away on his backhand in the slot. Albrechtsen up to Cody. Cody to McNaughton. Jace McNaughton tries to flip it down, and Backlov will pick that pass off. Adolfsson now for Boston. Gets it to Abraham. Shot stopped by Salo. Brandon Jordan to Abraham. Adolfsson now to Backlov to Abraham. Down to Jordan. Backhand stopped by Salo. And he will hold right there. Back and ready for a face-off. Cody against Abraham. To the right of Salo. They'll come free, and Ramakers for Minnesota will be the first one to pick it up. Bure tries to make a move. Toe drags. Can't get it through Antonison. Dumps it down low, and Vinogradov will be the first one on it for Boston. Gets it up to Abraham, and he's met there. Dalton up to Cody. Cody tries to get the centering pass to Bure, and it can't get through. Petrick now will turn, get it up to Abraham. Abraham probing in the corner. Dumps it down low to Tipton. Tipton still with it. Gets it up high to Antonison. He'll get met there by Langenberg. Langenberg loses it. Petrick still with it. He'll dump down into the corner. And Minnesota now able to exit the zone. Bronislav Bure tries to get it to the near boards to Kovachenko and can't. Stop there. Kovachenko now with it. Kovachenko kicks it up the boards. Taken by Boston. O'Shea in the slot loses it to Bure. Gets it to Loki Langenberg. And Loki will flip it in. It'll be Nil Vinogradov, Shvital to O'Shea. Stick checked away. Martin Sikora to Kovachenko. Langenberg. Over 12 minutes gone here in the first period. Still scoreless here in Minnesota. Boston, power play early in the first here. Unable to score on it. We find ourselves still scoreless so far. Ramsey for Minnesota will have it behind the net. It'll pop free to Shvital. He'll get it to O'Shea out in front, and it's stopped again by Salo. Boston has had the legs here on the road. O'Shea will kick it to the opposite corner. No one home. Cesaro for Minnesota gets it to Sikora. Sikora tries to flip it down. Christensen gets it to Vinogradov. Backlov will now float away. King into the zone. Gets free of Nikola. Now he's pestered there by the big defenseman. Nikola will get it again. He'll get it up to Gavrochuk. Gavrochuk to Cesaro. Gabriel Cesaro loses it for a second. Now we will lose it to Josiah Stevenson. Stevens. Stevens centers to Anderson, and a stop again by Salo. Anderson now with it behind the net. Shot by King, and it's stopped there. Chris Rain up ahead for Minnesota. He'll stay wide. Stop there along the half boards. Cesaro to Bjornsson. To Konstantinov. Oh, and a stop there by Abedisiani through traffic. Backlov gets it up to Adolfsson. Adolfsson to Jordan. Jordan to Anderson. Anderson knocked off his stick. He's met there by Konstantinov. Slap shot there by Adolfsson, and it's stopped by Salo. And he will hold it right there. We approach 4 minutes left here in the first period. Boston with the advantage in the faceoff dot, now 5-3. Oh, and a shot just goes off the outside of the cage by Jordan. Bjornsson up to Kovac. He'll get it to Rain on the wing here. Rain tries to cut to the center, and he loses it. Miscommunication there with Albrechtsen. Nolan Cherry loses it. Bjornsson will try to get it up ice, and he turns it over. Nolan Cherry now on it for Boston. He's got room, centers it to Jordan. Jordan can't do anything with it in the center there. Bure will get it up to Bjornsson. Bjornsson loses it, but just comes back to Konstantinov. Konstantinov in, gets it to... Ooh, Kovac had an opportunity, and it hops right off his stick to the goaltender. 2:40 left here in the first. McNaughton press to the boards there. Joubert and Bure fight for it. It'll come to Kolar, to Jordan. Kolar and Jordan fight for it. Cody will now get it, and he'll flip it in deeper into the Boston zone. Petrick up to Kolar, to Tipton. Tipton on the near boards. Minute 45 left here in the first. Cody away with it. He'll get to the blue line. And now we'll continue to carry. Nobody stops him. Pad stop there by Abedisiani. McNaughton. Back to Konstantinov. Cody in the slot couldn't get it through. Kolar with the block. 1 minute left here in the first. Abraham with the chance. Shot stopped again. Oh, and Salo gets across on Tipton. Looked like Barry Tipton had a wide open cage, and he can't get it through. Eddie Salo. Big stop by the goaltender there. Abraham again tries to flip it down low, and Langenberg will pick it off. He'll get it up to Ramakers. Ramakers to Tumanen. 9 seconds remaining. Kovachenko knocked off his stick for a second. Kovachenko tries to center, and Antonison will knock that away to the corner. O'Shea, and that is going to do it. For 20 minutes here in Minnesota, we are scoreless. Just one power play in the first period. We'll take a look at the shots here in a second once we get through the highlights. A 0-0 game after one. Boston leading the way with 11 shots on goal. Minnesota limping in with 3 here in the first period. So we will head to our first intermission and be right back with you for an exciting second 20 minutes. Alrighty, folks, welcome back to the Target Iceplex here in Minneapolis, Minnesota, as the Minnesota Norse host the Boston Yachts in an America Division matchup. We are tied at 0 after one period. Boston leading the way with 11 shots, just to Minnesota's 3. Boston did have a power play in the first, but were unsuccessful. Backlov now with it. He'll go off the boards up to Stevens. Stevens tries to cut in. He has room. Shot. Oh, blocked away by Cody. Cody will now get it up to McNaughton. McNaughton cuts to the middle, now goes along the far boards. He'll continue to skate with it. Now he's bumped by Braun. Calvin Anderson up to Sasha Backlov. Up to Stevens. Stevens along the far boards, goes to the corner behind the King. Out front, Anderson stopped by Salo. Stevens stopped there by Salo again. Salo tries to get on top of it, but it's pushed away. Stevens tries to get it on net, and Bure will poke it away. Bjornsson gets it out of the zone to McNaughton. Up ice to Cody. Cody will stop, wait for a trailer, now goes in front, and it's blocked away wide of the net. Braun goes behind the net to Backlov. Backlov will come up in front. Stevens will lose it at his own blue line. Cody trying to cut in. He's pestered there. It'll be Albrechtsen the first one to it. He'll get it to Rain. Cody knocked over. Konstantinov to Rain in the slot. Oh, and it just, I think, skips off the stick of Abedisiani. Backlov pushes Albrechtsen off. And now Anderson. Anderson to the middle. King. Anderson shot. Stopped there by Salo. Another big stop by the goaltender for Minnesota, Chris Rain. He'll try to enter the zone. It'll be to Albrechtsen. Albrechtsen can't get through. Looked like he had Rain if he could have just flipped it across on his backhand. Christensen, he'll get blocked off there by Nikola. Sikora up to Langenberg. Langenberg to Kovachenko. Kovachenko to Tumanen. Shot doesn't, oh, it does get to Abedisiani. It looked like Antonison was going to stop it up, but he lets it on his goaltender. It came in weakly towards the goaltender, so no danger there, really. Kovachenko comes in 3-on-4. He'll lose it to Christensen. Approaching 5 minutes gone here in the second period. We are still scoreless here in Minnesota. Kovachenko, shot gets blocked away. Svital blown up there by Kovachenko. Antonison to Christensen. Not many stoppages. We've had a really fast breakneck pace here in the first 25 minutes of this game. Kovachenko now with room. Shot! Can't get the shot away. Vinogradov looked like he deflected that and kept it there. It'll go cross ice to Adolfsson, to Vinogradov. Goes cross ice to Jordan. Jordan's hit there by Cesaro. It's Ingolf Adolfsson. Antonison with room. Shot stopped by Salo, and it's cleared away from danger by Sikora. Good opportunity there by Olaf Antonison. Gavrilchuk comes wide, loses it to Antonison. He'll get it up to Adolfsson. To Cherry. Cherry hit there by Cesaro. Ramsey now with it. Ramsey kicks it up the boards, comes to Kolar. Kolar to Cherry. Cherry tries to get room. Shot weakly on Salo, and he will hold there. Get it to Nikola. It's now pushed behind the net to Sikora. Martin Sikora up to Ricky Ramsey. Ramsey will flip it down. First one on it is Joubert, Johan Joubert. Come behind the net and get it out to Jordan. Jordan almost hit there, but gets it free to Abraham. Abraham with room. Knocked off there. I believe it was Dalton with the hit there. Ramakers to Gavrochuk to Ramsey. And they'll be offsides at the line. There's some scuffle going on at the boards, but it looks like that will clear. Cooler heads will prevail. We'll have a face-off here just outside the Boston zone. 11:53 left here in the second. Still scoreless. 0-0 here in Minnesota. Tipton gets it knocked off his stick. It'll come to Joubert at the point. Loose behind there. Loose in the corner. Now it comes free. Albrechtsen. Picked off by Tipton. Abraham enters the zone. Shot. Right into the chest of Salo, and he will hold right there. So now Kovac will go against Abraham in the dot. And Abraham wins it back in their zone. Petrick, had a chance in the slot, but he loses it to Dalton. Petrick now another chance, blocked away by Dalton. Good two defensive plays there, although one of them was caused by the turnover by Dalton. Rain trying to get in the slot. And a good glove stop by Abedisiani on Kovac. Backlov will get it away for Boston. We've hit the midway point of this game. Still goalless here in Minnesota. Stevens loses it for a sec, and now it's Calvin Anderson for Boston. Calvin Anderson picked off there by Konstantinov. He'll try to get it out, but King will take that back. He'll keep it in. Stevens blown up by Konstantinov. Rain up to Bjornsson. Bjornsson up to Bure. Bronislav Bure will flip it down, and we will have a fight here. Cody against Anderson. Two guys mostly known for their speed and scoring ability, now going at it as they tilt there, and Cody will come away with the win against Anderson. So Anderson with the hit on Bure as looks like he's going to head to the locker room with an injury there, and Cody, his line mate, does not take kindly to that and steps in. So we are now ready for action. It'll be in the Boston zone. Kovac against Shvatal. And it'll be 1 to Kovac. O'Shea with speed will flip it down low. And we'll come to Albrechtsen. He'll be the first on it for Minnesota. He'll get it up to Kovac. Milos Kovac loses it to Shvatal, but he gets it right back. Tries to get it down low, and O'Shea will get the weak dump attempt there. Antonison to Christensen. Christensen loses it to McNaughton. Jace McNaughton goes for a skate. Gets it out to Konstantinov. Konstantinov loses it for a sec. It'll come to Jace McNaughton. Up to Tumanen. Shvatal loses it. Now it's Nick O'Shea. O'Shea into the slot. Shvatal just goes high up and over the glass. Over the net. O'Shea to Vinogradov to Antonison. Antonison down low to O'Shea. Weakly on net to Salo. And he will hold right there. So we are back, ready to go. It'll be Kovachenko against Cherry in the face-off dot. Cherry wins it back. Backlov, cross ice to Gron, to Jordan. Slap shot by Cherry, stopped by Salo. Kovachenko against Cherry again. Cherry wins it back to Backlov, slap shot. Right into the chest to Salo, and he will hold right there. So again, Boston, I would say, through the first 35-ish minutes here, has been the better team, has looked like they've had the legs, they've had the physicality, better than Minnesota to this point in the game. And we'll come back. Cherry again with the face-off win. Backlov and Gron play catch. Cherry into the slot. Adolfson stopped by Salo. And that he has been probably the best player on the ice tonight for Minnesota, as he has stopped everything that has come his way from the Yachts. Carry again against Kovachenko. We've said that about 4 times here in the last minute of game time. Kovachenko finally wins one back. Oh, we are going to have a tripping penalty here on Adolfsson. Behind the net on Bjornsson. Tuominen comes across the line, trying to get room. Langenberg, stop there. Kovachenko on it. He'll get bumped off, and it will be touched up by Boston. So as we just cross the 6-minute mark of the second period, Ingolf Adolfsson will head to the box on a tripping penalty to Thomas Bjornsson behind Bjornsson's net. So an offensive zone penalty there. Boston leading the way with 20 shots on goal to Minnesota's 6, but we'll see if this power play can maybe flip those fortunes or even get one in the net for the Norse here at home. King wins it back to Backlov. Joubert will get it and flip it all the way out. And it'll be Gavrachuk, the first one on it. He'll get it across to Konstantinov, up to Tuominen. Ivari Tuominen poked off his stick. King gets met there by Nikola. Not a big hit, but just met there at the blue line as King tried to get it deep. Tuominen to Albrechtsen. Albrechtsen to Tuominen. Oh, and he had an opportunity, but it's poked away by Backlov. Albrechtsen shot, stopped there by Abedisiani. He'll keep play going. Joubert off the glass and out. Konstantinov at the red line will get it. Tuominen. Ivari Tuominen goes cross ice to Gavrachuk. He tries to center. Comes to Tuominen. Shot. Gloved by Abedisiani. A little bit of a knuckler. And Abedisiani able to calmly get that into his glove and hold it there. Cesaro now will take the face off against Abraham. Cesaro wins it back. Konstantinov shot. Stopped by Abedisiani. And it'll get kicked out to Antonison, and he'll get it out. 45 seconds remaining here on the power play to Adolfsson. Albrechtsen gets it up to Ramsey. Ramsey trying to enter. Ramsey shot gets blocked away. And we have a slash here, and it is coming to Bo Gron. So a full penalty box now for Boston. Little slash there on Ramsey. So now a 5-on-3 will commence for Minnesota. 35 seconds left on that, and then they will get a 5-on-4 quickly after that. Kolar tries to clear, and he can't. Langenberg down low to Rain. Oh, and a good stop by Abedisiani as he goes post to post. Rain out to McNaughton. And another glove stop by Abedisiani, this time on Langenberg, as he looks at his stick in disbelief. Can't believe he couldn't get that up and over the glove of Abedisiani as he lunges from post to post. So 2 good opportunities there on the 5-on-3 for Minnesota. It'll be one back. Backlov will have it. He gets tripped up. Now Backlov. Again, penalty coming up here to Minnesota. Jordan will lose it there. McNaughton will touch. So we'll go to just a 5-on-4 as McNaughton caught for the trip on Sasha Backlov. Cody against O'Shea in the dot, and Cody will win it back to Kovachenko. He'll get it up to Thomas Bjornsson. Adolfsson now out of the box. He'll come across to Kovachenko. We have a 4-on-4 now here in Minnesota. 3:30 left here in the second. Still scoreless so far. Bjornsson back to Kovachenko. Kovachenko up to Cody, and he loses it. Svital in for Boston. Cuts wide. Gets it back to Joubert, and a blocker stop by Salo. Svital, another stop by Eddie Salo. Svital off the boards up to Joubert. He'll get it low to Svital. He'll turn it over. Thomas Bjornsson. 25 seconds left on the 4-on-4. Kovachenko. Boston will get a power play after this. Cody can't get through Antonison. It'll come to Stevens. Stevens staying wide. He'll get poked off his stick. It'll be Cody with it now. And now 30 seconds of power play time for Boston. Joubert able to stick that one down. Svital to Antonison. Up to Stevens. 20 seconds down. He'll get knocked off. King. Stopped by Salo. Now Antonison with it. He's bumped there. It'll be Anderson for Boston. Anderson behind the net. They score! So it's Jackson King on the power play. Set up by Calvin Anderson. So with just 2 minutes left here in the second, we finally get our icebreaker. as it is Jackson King fitting one past Eddie Sallow to make it a 1-0 game here in the second. Anderson now on Cody. McNaughton bumped there by Anderson. He'll be chased back, and it'll get up to Albrechtsen. Turned over. Backlov had it for a second, and he fed it to King. King to Anderson. Anderson, shot, stopped by Stevens. On Stevens, excuse me. Across again to King from about the same spot he scored the last goal, and this time Sallow gets across and makes the stop. So now Cherry again against Kovac. Kovac wins it away, but Jordan in the slot stopped there by the pad of Sallow, and he'll hold. Just 46 seconds remaining here in the second period. Boston on the road here, up 1-0 on the homestanding Minnesota Norse. Kovac against Cherry again. Kovac will win this one back to Sikora, to Nikola, up to Rain. Chris Rain gets to the red line, gets across. He's met there by Jordan. They fight for it there. Rain, are they going to call an interference there on Cherry? Yep. Or excuse me, on Jordan. So they're going to say Jordan probably just pesters Rain a little too much there along the boards. And so Brandon Jordan will head to the box. A couple of shots there to Chris Rain. So Cody against Adolfson, Minnesota on the power play. Time ticking down here in the second. And Petrick will come away with it, and he'll flip it out. Just 10 seconds left in the period. We'll have about a minute and a half of carryover time, a little over a minute and a half of carryover time for Minnesota on this power play, unless they're able to score here in the waning seconds. Shot by Konstantinov, it does not get through. So we will head to the third period. A goalie matchup here so far. And right now, Abedisiani beating Eddie Sallow, as Boston has a 1-0 lead on the power play goal by Jackson King right there to head to the third period up 1-0. We'll take our second intermission, folks. We'll be right back with you for a fun and exciting final 20 minutes. Alrighty, welcome back for our third and final period here from Minnesota. The Boston Yachts here in town to face off against the Norse, and they find themselves up 1-0 entering the third period. Minnesota now across the line. Langenberg tries to center, can't get it through to Cody. Minnesota on a power play here to start the period. It's going to be about a minute and a half on the power play for the Norse. Cody gets it poked away. It'll be Bjornsson. He'll get pressed to the boards by Adolfson. Cody comes away with it up to Langenberg. Langenberg across the line, gets it to McNaughton. Into the slot, can't get the shot away. Langenberg feeds it to McNaughton on the boards. Down to Langenberg. Shot! Stopped by Abedisiani and kicked away by Backlov. Cody up to Bjornsson. He'll walk down the slot. Bjornsson, shot! Stopped there by Abedisiani. Langenberg up high to Cody. Down to Kovachenko. Tries to get the pass through, and it comes right back to him. Across to Bjornsson. He'll get it to Kovachenko in the high slot. Shot! Blocked away. Joubert on it for Boston. Gets it out. The power play is ticking down. Just a few seconds left. McNaughton into the zone. Down low to Cody. Stopped there by Abedisiani. Tries to come out front, and it's knocked away. McNaughton to Cody. Knocked away to Petrick. And they will get it out of danger, and that will do it for the power play. So Minnesota unable to capitalize there, as they still find themselves trailing 1-0 here at home. Albrechtsen will get it up to Langenberg. Langenberg bodied there. Albrechtsen, first one on it. He'll skate into it, tries to get it to Cody, and it goes awry. Adolfson now for Boston in his own zone, gets it to Vinogradov. Christensen backing up in his own zone. Continues to back up. He'll now get it up. It'll come to O'Shea. He'll dump it deep. First one on it will be Kovachenko for Minnesota. He'll try to flip, get it to Cody. Cody behind his own net, gets it back to Kovachenko as they cycle. Chris Rain now enters the zone. He's watched by Vinogradov. Rain behind the net now. To Albrechtsen, shot stopped there. It's out in front, it's loose, and Abedisiani will get on it and keep it out of danger. Get it to Vinogradov. Christensen now away for Boston. He'll backhand flip it down. Sikora on it. He'll get it up to Albrechtsen. Albrechtsen to Kovac. Kovac turned over to Stevens. O'Shea met by Sikora. Stevens now enters the zone. He's watched there by Kovac. Shot in front, stopped. And they couldn't get the rebound there. Chris Rain now for Minnesota. Gets to the red line and retreats. Kovachenko to Albrechtsen. Kovac with room. Knocked off by Baklov. Good defensive performance here by the Yachts. Jackson King, shot glove by Salo, and he will hold right there as we cross the 5-minute mark of this third period. 14:51 left. Gavrachuk against Anderson in the face-off circle. Anderson will win it back. It'll be Baklov. Pass to Stevens. Baklov in the high slot. Oh, blocked away by Salo. Gavrachuk to Ramsey. Ramsey will retreat. Try to get it up ice, and he can't. Oh, and King crunched there. I believe it was Nikola on the hit. Comes free. Cesaro now. Gabriel Cesaro staying wide. Bumped there by Bogran. He'll keep it. Gavrachuk. Oh, and a stick save there by Bedesiani. Braun with it behind his own net. Will come out from the goal line up to Anderson. Now it's Christensen. Isaac Christensen entering the zone. Sticked away by Nikola. He bumps the forward there. Stevens down the slot. Stopped by Salo, and he will hold. Nope. Keeps play going. Anderson. Oh, what a mistake by Eddie Salo. Not quite sure what was going through the young netminder's head. He feeds it out to Anderson, and Anderson buries it past him to take a 2-0 lead for the Yachts here in Minnesota. What a mistake by the goaltender there. Honestly, I had stopped play. I thought it was over. I thought he held onto it and we were done. We were going to get a face-off. But nope, they keep play going. Petrick now out in front to Tipton, and it's stopped by Salo. This one he will hold on to as Abraham was lurking. Cody against Abraham in the dot. Abraham wins it back to Braun. Stick checked away. McNaughton will have it now for Minnesota. They trail now by 2 goals. Albrechtsen to Cody. Albrechtsen in the low slot. On his backhand, can't get it away. Sikora, slap shot goes way wide. Nikola tries to get it out in front. It's picked off by Jordan. He'll get it up to Petrick on the wing. He's met there by Sikora at the blue line. Albrechtsen pressed by Abraham. It'll be Jace McNaughton now up for Minnesota. McNaughton turns it over to Petrick. Vladko Petrick turns it back over. Jace McNaughton will retreat in the neutral zone. He'll get it cross ice to Albrechtsen. Matty Albrechtsen stops. Gets it to Nikola in the slot. Stop there. Big stop there. Slap shot again. Bedesiani comes up with the save. So 11 minutes left to go. Minnesota at home finding themselves trailing 2-0. They've currently been shut out by Ronnie Bedesiani. Kovachenko now against Cherry in the dot. And it'll come to Cherry. Cherry to Jordan. Jordan bodied there. He'll keep it free, and Bjornsson will pick that pass off. Tuominen now with it. Ivari Tuominen coming in. Stops, gets it back to Konstantinov. Shot, stop there. It's in front, and they score! It is Dmitry Konstantinov. So Minnesota finally on the board. It is Dmitry Konstantinov, set up by Tuominen and Bjornsson. Right at about the halfway mark of the third period, Minnesota back to a 1-goal deficit. Kovachenko will flip it in. First one on it is Tuominen. He'll get it to Bjornsson. Konstantinov over to Langenberg to Tuominen. Down low, picked off. Kovachenko gets back on it. It'll come free to Tuominen. To Kovachenko, shot just goes high and wide. Langenberg now fight for it in the corner with Schvital. It'll come free to Schvital. He'll get it up to O'Shea. O'Shea flips it high off the glass. Bjornsson will come down with it for Minnesota. Bjornsson up to Kovachenko, up to Langenberg at the blue line. Langenberg alone tries to cut in. He'll lose it to Antonison. O'Shea flips it in. Konstantinov, the first one on it. He's pressed to the boards by Christensen. Schvital tries to come free. Antonison bodied there by Gavrachuk. Langenberg has a little bit of room. He's got Gavrachuk cutting to the net as well. Gavrachuk, oh, off the side of the cage. Cesaro in front, and a stop there by Bedesiani. And we are going to have a power play here as interference called against Antonison. So Minnesota will go to the power play at home, trailing by a goal. So they're going to call that there against Gavrchuk. Gavrchuk looked like he had an opportunity, just couldn't quite palm the puck down on his stick to get it off in time as he fires it off the side of the cage. Chris Rain against Ingolf Adolfsson, and it'll be won by Ramsey. Back to Albrechtsen. Now it's blocked down in front, and Boston will free it. 7:30 left here in the third. A 2-1 game. Great game so far. So we were scoreless after one. The first goal didn't come until the 2-minute mark of the second period. We now find ourselves 2-1 here with just 7 minutes left. Ramsey to Albrechtsen. Shot stopped there. Albrechtsen scores! Matty Albrechtsen set up by Ricky Ramsey and Chris Rain. And we, just like that on the power play, 7 minutes to go, find ourselves tied again at 2 apiece. Rain gets it across to Albrechtsen. A stop. Oh, and a Bedesiani. He peeked behind him for a sec, but it ends up being right underneath him as he will hold that. Kovac against Anderson, and it'll be one. Oh, and Backlov gets tripped there. So Boston now, once it gets touched up by Minnesota or they score, King retreats in his own zone, and it'll be touched there by Kovac. Who's the penalty on? I know it's a trip. It'll be on Milos Kovac, so the guy that just touched it up will head to the box. Big penalty taken there by Milos Kovac. McNaughton now will face off against Calvin Anderson in the dot. 6:18 left. He'll come back to Vinogradov to Christensen on the far side. Stevens. Anderson tries to get it down low and he'll lose it. Dalton takes it away from Minnesota up to McNaughton. He'll flip it out. First one on it is Christensen for Boston. Christensen up to Anderson. Over to King. Jackson King bodied there. And it'll be Jason Dalton away with it. He'll get it. Flip it all the way down and out. It'll come to Christensen. Christensen behind the net gets it up to Anderson. Cherry loses it at his own blue line. Now Anderson back in. It'll come to Tuominen. He'll flip it off the glass and all the way down. We approach a minute gone on the power play. McNaughton and Christensen fight for it there. Christensen will get it free to O'Shea. Up to Nolan Cherry. Approaching 5 minutes, the final 5 here. Dalton picked off there and goes all the way down. 40 seconds left remaining on the penalty to Milos Kovac. Cherry. Stick checked away for a second. Now O'Shea in the slot, stopped by Salo. And he will hold right there. You'd think Salo would learn from his mistake earlier, and he does right there. Kovachenko against Vital. Vital will win it back. Jordan to Joubert. He gets blocked away. O'Shea to Joubert. O'Shea down in front, and it's stopped there. Big stop by Eddie Salo with the pad. Kicks out that left leg and is able to keep O'Shea out of the net. Joubert with just 5 seconds left here on the power play. Vital will retreat. Jordan hit there. Kovachenko tried to come in, but it would have been offsides. O'Shea will now have it. He'll enter the zone, but it'll be offsides. It looked like Vital was in ahead of the play. Albrechtsen will win the draw, or excuse me, Cody gets it to Albrechtsen, who will get it back into the Minnesota zone. Bjornsson up to Konstantinov, had the first goal of the night for Minnesota. Albrechtsen with the other goal for Minnesota here tonight. As it looks like Bronislav Burry has gone to the locker room. He is out for the rest of the game. He will not return. Vital across to Vinogradov, slap shot, blockered away by Salo. Bjornsson and Christensen fight for it. It'll come free to O'Shea in the slot. Oh, and a glove stop there by Salo as it goes up and over the net. Christensen gets it poked away. Vinogradov, Boston with the pressure here, but they lose it. McNaughton now for Minnesota. Tie game, 2.5 minutes left. Bjornsson shot, stopped by Bedesiani, goes up in the air. Bjornsson again, and it gets kicked out. Up to the high slot to Konstantinov. Albrechtsen shot, knocked away. Both teams now coming with pressure end to end. 2 minutes left here in the third. King will stop up, stop. Christensen gets a denied by Salo. Konstantinov behind the net. He'll try to kick it up to Rain, and now it'll get free to Cody. Cody gets across. Shot blocked away. Down in front, and Abedisiani will get a glove on that and keep play going. Cody! Oh, a shot, and it's a pad save there by Abedisiani. Rain tries to come in to get the stick, or excuse me, get the puck away. We're under a minute here in the third period. Tie game. Overtime looming here in Minnesota. Sikora. Oh, and it's... Where's the puck? Salo will hold it. I'm not sure. That puck looked like it might have been across the goal line, but the refs don't say so. So we were at 44.5 left on the clock here in Minnesota. It'll be a face-off in the Minnesota zone. Cherry against Kovachenko. And it'll be won by Boston. Looked like Nikola was in there first, but Jordan fights it away. Jordan now in front. Can't get the shot away. Cherry behind the net. Kovachenko presses him to the boards. Kovachenko will take it away. Langenberg up to Tuominen. He'll get to the red line. Tuominen enters the zone, gets it poked away for a second by Backlov. Backlov will fight there with Tuominen. They continue to fight. Backlov now away with it. Up to Cherry. Just 20 seconds left here in regulation. Tie game in Minnesota. Cherry flips it down. Nikola hit there by Jordan. Adolfsson with it behind the net. Cherry tries to get out in front. It's stick checked away. Bogran to Backlov to Cherry. Shot gets blocked. Another block. Langenberg now has it with 5 seconds remaining. Cesaro up to Gavrochuk. Shot gets blockered away. And that will do it. We will head to just our second ever overtime game here in the PIHANA. This one featuring the Boston Yachts and the Minnesota Norse. So we will not even take a break. We'll head to the menu screen and we'll be right back with you for the start of overtime here, folks. All right, so action. Getting right to it. Again, both these teams now have earned a point. Winner will get 2 points. Loser will walk away with 1 point here tonight. We will play for 5 minutes, 3-on-3. If nobody is able to get anything, we will head to a shootout. Konstantinov loses it to Vinogradov. He'll press the fellow defenseman there. It'll come free. Comes up to Anderson. Anderson with room. To King. Shot stop there. Oh, and McNaughton clears it away. Anderson looming, looking to bury that rebound on the King shot. Salo will glove it, and he will hold it there. A minute gone here in overtime. So now Cody against King. Konstantinov had it, but he loses it to Anderson. Konstantinov and Anderson fight for it behind the net, and it'll come free to Cody. Cody trying to use his speed to get around King. He'll get to the corner and lose it to King. Can't even get a shot away. Boston now with Calvin Anderson. Crosses the line, gets it sticked away by Konstantinov. Anderson chases Konstantinov. They'll fight for it behind the Minnesota net. They'll continue to battle. Anderson up to Svital. He'll get it checked away. And now Konstantinov has an opportunity. A break. Shot stopped there by Vedesiani, and Svital will come up with it. 2.5 minutes gone here in overtime. End to end. Stevens now in. Can't get a shot away. It'll come to Cody. Cody will retreat in his own zone. He'll get it up to Chris Rain. Over to Konstantinov. Konstantinov, the defenseman, still out there. We'll go wide. We'll stop. Wait for a trailer. Down to Langenberg. Langenberg can't get it through. And Abedisiani will hold that one right there. They had it a 3-on-2 down low. Langenberg just couldn't quite figure out either to get it on net or to slide it across to Chris Rain. So now Rain against Fatal. Minute 44 left here in overtime. Rain wins it back. Bjornsson down low. Ramsey belted there. Ramsey to Bjornsson. Bjornsson shot gloved by Abedisiani, and he will hold right there. Fatal against Rain again. Minute 34 left here in overtime. Fatal wins it back to Gron. Bo Gron will skate free. He'll get it up to Fatal. Fatal will dump it down. Langenberg the first one on it. He's pressed there by Stevens. Langenberg kicks it up the boards. It'll come to Gron. He's hit there by Rain. Fatal now with it at the point. He'll lose it to Langenberg. Langenberg has a breakaway. Loki Langenberg. Stop there. And Abedisiani will glove it and hold it right there. A minute 13 now remaining here in overtime. Another breakaway for Minnesota that they're unable to finish. Rain will face off against King in the dot. It'll be Anderson and Cesaro along the wings. Bjornsson, the defenseman for Minnesota, will get it. He'll get it poked away by Anderson. Anderson with speed. Stick there by Bjornsson. He gets free, gets to the slot. Can't get a shot away. Chris Rain now on it for Minnesota. He'll get it up to Bjornsson. Bjornsson met there by Anderson. Anderson in alone. Anderson scores! So the Yachts come into Minnesota and they are going to walk away with 2 points here as they knock off the Minnesota Norse here on the road. A breakaway / takeaway by Calvin Anderson, and he nets it past Eddie Salo to give the Yachts the win. What an incredible game here. Calvin Anderson, we're going to see it here. Gets the steal, comes in, dekes like he's going to go backhand on Salo, gets it back to the... Gets it to his forehand and finishes it through. So a great game here in Minnesota. Just game 2 of our triple header today. We had one in the afternoon, and now our second evening game coming up. A rematch of the game just a couple nights ago. The Montreal Mammoths will head into Calgary to take on the Stallions. So we're going to send you out there. If you'd like to stick around here for our post-game coverage, we will be back with you after a quick break. All right, folks, we are right back with post-game coverage here as the Boston Yachts get an overtime win over the Minnesota Norse here in Minneapolis. So the Yachts win 3-2 here on the game-winning goal by Calvin Anderson. So he is the first star of the game here tonight. Boston coming away with 40 shots on the night. They had a 2-0 lead early in the third, cough it up in just a couple of minutes, but they are able to seal it with a overtime goal by Calvin Anderson. So 40 shots to 32 for Boston, 38 hits for Boston to Minnesota's 44. Boston winning in the faceoff dot 25-18. And then Boston 13 penalty minutes to Minnesota's 11. Boston only 1 of 3 on the power play. And Minnesota 1 of 4 on the power play. It was Albrechtsen with the goal there on the power play. So that's it for the team stats. We'll head now to the individuals. We'll head down to our winners tonight, the road team, the Boston Yachts. Calvin Anderson, another great game from him. 2 goals and an assist. Both goals come unassisted. Actually, all 3 goals for... No, excuse me. Anderson does have the assist on King's goal. But those are the only 2-point getters tonight. Anderson and King. Backlov with a +1. Stevens and Braun +1s. Christensen a +1. And Tonison, Cherry, Jordan, and Adolfsson all with -1s there. We take a look at our hits leaders. We have Olav Antonison at 6 hits, Bo Gron at 6, and Nil Vinogradov at 5. Anderson 6 shots, King with 6 as well, O'Shea there near the bottom with 6. So good performance. And then I think if I'm a Boston fan, I know who I want in goal, at least for the foreseeable future. Ronnie Abedisiani, 32 shots against, 30 saves for a .938 save percentage, 2 goals against Abedisiani. A very good game by the young Canadian. If I'm a Boston fan, I'm good with Benny Sobel being our backup. I think he's fine there, but I want Ronnie Abedisiani to be the goalie going forward. We'll now head to Minnesota. Their stats: Dmitry Konstantinov with the first goal of the night, and then Albrechtsen with the evening goal. The game-tying goal, I should say. Bjornsson, Rain, Tuominen, and Ramsey with assists. They had a couple of breakaways there in overtime and could not get one to get past Ronnie Abedisiani. Konstantinov and Tuominen, the only pluses today. Rain a -1, Ramsey, Nikola, Sikora -1s, Kovachenko a +1, Gavrachuk a -1, Langenberg a +1, Cesaro, the big one with a -2. He struggled here in the early goings of this season for Minnesota. Our hits, Cesaro there with 6 hits though, so that's at least positive for him. Nikola 8, Sikora with 7, and Konstantinov leading the way for Minnesota with 9 hits in the game today. Albrechtsen also netting the power play tally. We'll now head to the goalie. Eddie Salo ends up with the overtime loss, but still a good performance out of him. He had 40 shots against, coming up with 37 saves for a .925 save percentage, 3 goals against. A good performance from Eddie Salo. He obviously would be much happier only giving up the 2 goals and coming away with the win, but either way, it is a good performance from Eddie Salo. We'll head to the goals of tonight. Not much to talk about. First period, no goals, and then 18 minutes into the second period, it comes our first one as Jackson King scores on the power play. Calvin Anderson unassisted to start the third period, and then back-to-back in a span of about 4 minutes, Konstantinov from Tuminen and Bjornsson, and then Albrechtsen on the power play from Ramsey and Rain. And then in overtime, Calvin Anderson, again, unassisted, able to fight the puck away from Bjornsson, glide into the zone and fire it past Eddie Salo for the win. So that is going to do it for us here from Minnesota. Again, we have one more game coming up tonight. The Calgary Stallions host the Montreal Mammoths. Calgary looking to get back on the winning side of things after 2 consecutive losses, and Montreal still the lone undefeated team in the PIHANA. So we will send you out to Calgary. Thank you folks for joining us from Minnesota. We will see you next time.